Welcome to Ron's RC Garage in Peoria, Arizona. It is December 20th. Bright, sunny day, mid-60s, no wind. Just beautiful. We got a little project going here. We're going through an old RC8 of a friend of ours. About got it finalized. Put all new bearings in it everywhere. And shock oil, diff fluids. Changed considerable amount of parts on it. We're just waiting on some steering parts and it'll be ready to go. He just wants to run it some more, play around. His name is Kevin. He runs Truggy with me. But he just said, Ron, you got time? I said, yeah, I got plenty of that. So we're about done with that little project. We just finished racing yesterday at Fair Farm with our little B3. I had a good run. A lot of fun. Just ton. Well, it's always fun. Us here in Phoenix, have the luxury of being able to run these nitro cars outside year-round, and it is just, as you know, nothing but fun, especially year-round. We don't miss many weekends. I've had a couple of requests from people, viewers and so forth. How do you keep it going? You just don't seem to have mechanical problems and so forth. Well, that's all in preparation. This car just came off the track. Just getting ready to tear it down. In 2 hours, this car will look brand new. Absolutely like came out of them. Like you just put the kit together. And it's imperative, I think, that you need to do a post-race inspection every time you take your car off the track. And it can be a quickie, and the longer you run the same type of car, the more familiar you get with the inherent problems of the car. What's going to loosen up, what to look for as far as things breaking. One thing I do, I check every screw on the chassis underneath. Just takes a couple minutes. I make sure the camber links are free. Make sure the steering linkage is free. Check my gear mesh after every run. I know where I set it, and it should never change. If it's a little bit off, there's something going south, and you need to investigate it. Again, you keep good clutch bell bearings and so forth in it, you're probably not going to have a problem. But there's such a thing as getting a rock or something in there and could tear some things up. So keep an eye on it. Just doesn't cost you anything. Take a little bit of time. Don't worry about eating your sandwich right away. Take care of your car first. You didn't come out there to eat lunch. You came out there to race, so that's your priority. One thing we did happen to catch on an inspection yesterday, the car was doing fine. It was after the second qualifier. Just started nosing around. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. The steering block. This one has a very slight crack in it. Not slight, it's considerable. I hope you can see it. I don't know if this thing is focusing well enough or not. But it's right on the upper portion of it. Right there. We caught it. I'm not sure it would have finished the main. There's just constant vibration with these. I set these balls as tight as they can be where they're still totally free. And I think, of course, you need to check these with suspension, full suspension travel, and make sure everything is free throughout the travel. And you probably won't have a problem. But it's just constant vibration with these things. So the least amount of clearance you can run, the less amount of fatigue you're going to have on the plastic. Just makes sense to me. Something else we do, it saved me more than once. It saved me on a rear one yesterday, in fact, is we put little tie wraps on the bottom of the spring cups, around the spring and the cup. So when they come dislodged, and you've all had it happen, everything does stay together in one piece, and you're not hunting for parts. Kind of keeps everything as one unit. That's kind of it as far as basic maintenance. This RC8B3 is a really good car. I really like it. In fact, a friend of mine, Bill Mason, drove it yesterday. I'm still trying to learn how to drive. And he said, Ron, the car's got good power and you got a decent setup in it. The car's good. Having some durability problems with these U-joints. AE customer support's been super, but there is a limit to how far they're going to go with it. I think basically they got a problem with them. In fact, now all of a sudden they offered CVA axles for these cars. So I think they're aware of the problem, and that's the way they chose to combat it at this point in time. I'm going a different direction because I love the U-joint concept. It rolls so free and nice. So I just did some research, some measurements, and I am putting a set of Mugen MBX7R axles in this car, front and rear. Dimensions are so close it's not going to make any difference. A lot of guys at Fair Farm run the Mugen cars. They're not having U-joint problems and never have. So these are going back, these are going in there, and the existing axles will become spares. We're going to have plenty of those now. And hopefully that's going to take care of the problems. I cannot deal with mechanical failure on a racetrack. Crash damage is one thing. But just like catching this crack in the steering block and keeping an eye on your car, you got enough problems just driving these things to even give a second thought about you didn't take care of this, you didn't take care of that, is it going to last? With me, that's not an option at all. It needs to not even be in the vocabulary. That kind of ends it. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe. And everybody have safe holidays and have a Merry Christmas. And we will talk to you later. Goodbye.